So we're going to warm up for our intermediate. We're just going to check our posture of our feet, nice forward facing feet, hips are nice and level. Just take a breath in, and I just want you to remember, when you take your breath in, everything is soft in your body. And then when you exhale, just like your diaphragm going up, that's when your pelvic floor should come up. So that's your exert, exhale. Okay, so everything's soft and light as we breathe in. And then when we exhale, you push your pelvic floor upwards, and it kind of goes in tandem with your diaphragm, as your diaphragm comes up to push the air out. So breathe in, nice and soft everywhere. And then exhale, lift your pelvic floor and engage here. Okay, so let's join that up with some work. We're going to take a breath in, and then when we exhale, lift your pelvic floor. Imagine your two panes of glass, front and back, and we're going into side bends. Breathing in, exhale. And then on the next one, just check your feet are forward facing. You're just going to bring your elbow up there and then breathe in. So I just want to get your breath right and your engagement in your pelvic floor right. So breathe in here and exhale here, because when we're bending the spine, front or back, you really want your pelvic floor engaged. It just helps protect your spine. Okay, so once you come up, that's your inhale, exhale to the side. So at the moment, your hips are beautifully level and they're not swaying. So I don't want you to push out with your hips as you go to the side. Everything stays static. And then on the next one, we imagine that thread. Lift your spine up. Well, not literally, imagine so. And you exhale as you come into the side. You should have some breath ready to exhale. So you imagine that thread just between your finger and your thumb, lifting from your pelvic, your coccyx all the way up through your spine, and you're lengthening your spine up there, and then come back in. So we kind of carry on in that vein, but we're going to take it into a pelvic rotation as well. So we start off exactly the same, breathing in. Exhale, lift here, come over. Okay, you keep your hips forwards and level as you retract, and then we come over here. Now your pelvis moves now, so my right hand is over and my right hip comes into a twirl, and the left sitting bone goes towards the back of the room, and you come through, and then we wind the pelvis to the front and then rotate it as you come round to the other side. So now I'm turning to my right hip is back, and my left one's come more forward. So your pelvis is like this, and then you can bring yourself back up. Okay, when you retract, that's when you level with your hips. Exhale, and then you can dip forward. So you're just stretching your sitting bones towards the back of the room in a twirl, coming round, so you come back up in a beautiful angle if your back feels good. And if your back feels like it's not great, then you just do smaller ones. You just don't go all the way down. Just listen to your body. So now we retract, retrace, and reach forward. So I'll just show you the side view. So I want you to be quite straight in your back as you twirl forwards. So you're not arching your back. I want your back quite straight. So your sitting bones are going towards the back of the room. Have a twist as you come back up, and then retract. So this is straight. Come down into a twirl. That's it, breathing in to come up, and when you retract, try and keep your hips level, and then fall into the rotation. Okay? So it's ever so a subtle little change, but because of the change, you're just stretching different parts of your legs and your pelvis. Okay. So now we're nice and stretched, and we're going to go into our first squat and then come back and stretch again for the next one. So it's like a side squat, but a little bit different. So I'm going to step out with my right foot, and that's going to go towards the right corner of the room. Just going to pop this down just a bit because it's important you can see the feet. So the right foot that steps goes into the diagonal, and this foot faces forward. Your hips turn so they're facing that diagonal foot, and your knee, your front knee, hovers over that front heel. Okay, your hips are level here, that back foot is forward facing. So can you see your feet are like that? Okay, now you're going to hip hinge, so have some breath ready. To exhale to hip hinge. Now watch the back. Ideally, the back is, we've done this before, aim for a smile in your back, and it hopefully will make it go straight. Then the back of your head, back of your shoulders to here. And then you breathe in as you bring your arms level with your ears here, level with your ears. So not here or here, here. Okay, you should feel like a real engagement in that supporting to the front leg glute. Okay, sorry, this is your breathe in here. You come up and you draw that toe across the floor, and we try and make it look elegant. Now that foot becomes forward facing, and your other leg, left one in my case now, goes into the corner of the mat there. Your hips come level with that. Your knee hovers the heel as usual. You should have some breath to exhale here. Sweep the arms round, and then you have to properly secure your core to get yourself back up. Draw that toe back across the mat. Okay, I want 20, I want 10 of each. We'll see how we feel after that. Okay, try and get your back straight with the floor. That's it, come back, step, exhale. Breathing in. I love these, they're just great. They really get your energy levels up. And they just seem to stretch and engage lots of different muscles. You're engaging this, you're stretching this, you're engaging that glute as well. Breathe in, ready to exhale here. Bring it up. If you glide your toe across the floor when you come up, it just helps with an engagement in that glute there and the leg. Okay, halfway there. That's it. Really reach ahead. So I don't want this. I want your back straight. Engage that glute and really reach to the front there. Ears, arms lined up. Come back. Careful not to over engage your knee as you come up. Do you know what I mean? You can overexert that knee. Just be gentle, popping the weight into the back foot. I'll show you in a sec. So try and aim for the weight here as this toe slides back. Okay, how are we feeling? Beautiful, oh my gosh. Don't know my own strength. Catapulting myself out the window. That's it, lovely. Here we go. Notice that front knee, hovering this heel. Lengthen. Coming back through. I think we've got about 4 more on each side. Lengthen that spine. Imagine you're pulling your spine through your crown. Super engage everything. Get the weight into that middle foot to spring yourself through. Okay, try and get wide. As you get warmer, you might be able to get the stance between each foot a little bit wider. Okay, so as you do this, you're pulling your spine long. It makes a difference. Be really mindful about where you're putting your limbs. Let's be really in charge of them. Engaging that front leg glute. So right there, should be feeling really powerful. Gets your old heart rate going. I bet you've got more room than we used to have in that studio. Oh, stretch. Come back up. Exhale. We will have been doing this over 6 months, I reckon. Exhale. Reach. Come back up. Have some breath. Exhale, go down. Is your back lined up with the floor? Right, let's do one more on each side. When I look back at this footage, I'll count. See how accurate I was. That's it, okay. Beautiful. Okay, so I promised another stretch, didn't I? Oh yeah, this is lovely. Right, okay. So you're going to take a big step forward. I think we did this last week. Both of your feet are forward facing. Even that back one. My back one wants to turn out all the time, so I'm going to just pop it on the mat to get the grip. Okay. So that front knee again hovers over your front heel and the back leg is straight. Just carry on. I'm just going to show you the side view. Okay, so both feet are forward facing. It means you get a lovely stretch in that back calf. Scoop that coccyx under. I don't want your chest sticking out as usual. And then I'm going to get the band. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Okay. And we just bring the arms out into dumb waiter. So I'll show you the side because I don't want movement in your spine. So that includes your chest. Okay, so your chest stays still. Ribs to hips, coccyx turned under a little bit. So you're totally still in your spine. Okay, you'll breathe in here as you open. Exhale. I'm just going to twizzle round. You stay there. Try and concentrate on that back heel staying down, both feet facing forwards, elbows tucked in. Everything's really static in the core. So I want to just take your face to one side and then the other side. How's your chest? Is it not plucking out, please? Woo. Just breathe on every tug of this. That's the idea. Are we lifted in the pelvic floor, belly button towards your spine? You should be feeling a little bit, I nearly said nauseous, wrong word, just engaged there in that glute. Okay, let's just do several more on each side. Your jaw in line with your shoulders that are level with your ears. Okay, your chin doesn't press out and neither does your forehead. Your face is level with the window or wall, whatever you're looking at each side. Okay, I'm going to do 5 more on each side. Resist that band. Make it tighter if you want to just engage your biceps a bit more. Are we ready to swap? So take a breath, secure everything, bring your feet up, oops, and step back again. Just be really mindful you don't want that back toe wandering out, not for this one today. Everything's straight. Okay, front knee hovers that front ankle and you're getting a stretch in that back calf muscle. Ooh, ribs to hips. Well done. Just think about your actions, think about your body, how it's moving, think about you, okay? Getting it right. Check your toes haven't wandered off. Check your pelvic floor, super engaged. Try and check as you exhale, breathe out. That's your definite lift in your pelvic floor. Although you want it engaged all the time. Really. Keep going. Should be getting tired in your arms. These are great for your arms, keeping them toned. Okay, keep going. Check your feet, check your rib cage, check your coccyxes tucked under. And we're going to go for 5 more on each side and then we'll stretch out those arms. Well done. Lengthen the band if you're feeling too fatigued. 2 more on each side. Last one. There. Good. How's that? Get yourself up and just reach. Keep your hips forward. Your shoulders should be forward. Just take your hand to one side here. And then the other way. Do you feel like your arms want to drop off? Mine do. Okay, so luckily for the next one, you don't need your arms, just your legs. Right, we're going to do wall sit. We're going to try for 2 minutes again. So I'll just show me the clock. So I'm going to do it there. So remember, this is your aim. So you're aiming for right angle here, right angle between your quad and your tummy. Okay, we're going to do a bit of arm work as well, but just a stretch. So, palms up against the wall there. Okay, you want this distance, whatever that is for you, away from the wall and your knee. Okay, so I want your knees hovering over your heels, and the contact with the wall should be the back of your head, top of your shoulders and the lower part of your back. It's crucial that you really engage your pelvic floor here. We're aiming for 2 minutes, but I just want you to just do as much as you can, okay? All right, so roll your head here from side to side. Before we do anything else, think about your head's a globe and all the tension escapes through the contact with the head and the wall. Imagine it's the equator, which we won't be going near at all anytime soon. So lift here, just double check your knees are hovering your heels, all right? Roll through. Oh, we lost somebody. All right, now, if we want to carry on in wall sit with arms, then you can do windows as well. Now, if you want to do windows stood up, that's fine. We're layering on. So I want your elbows in line with your shoulders. Keep your pelvis neutral, so don't roll your spine at all, don't roll your pelvis. And then we're just going to take the palms to the wall there. Just got 30 seconds of this. This is distraction, but it's also mobilising your arms. Just careful, I don't want your ribs to come high, and I want your shoulder blades just to glide. Stay close to the back of your ribs, your shoulder blades. Try and breathe. You've done 2 minutes. Breathe, palms to the wall as you bring yourself forward and reach up. Okay. Puffed out. I'm not running as much as I usually do, so I can feel my heart can't last as long. Transfer the weight over to your left foot. Keep your hips level. Breathe. Lift here and just lift up your right leg. So remember the form. We're not like this, and we're not like this. We're level. I'd like your coccyx definitely scooped under so you get this length in this front quad rather than length here. I don't want length in your tummy. I want closure between your ribs and your hips. Okay. Breathe. Just bring this free hand over so your forearms in level with in line with your spine. I'm pretty sure that's level. I think it's my top making it look like it's not. Release here and then just bring your fingertips on your elbow there. Have a breath before you transfer over to the other side. Okay. Yeah, good. Ooh, don't let that hip come down. It's got to be level. Squeeze and breathe. Good. Squeeze and breathe. Okay, release and just pop that fingertip on your elbow there. Stretch this. All right, good. So you'll enjoy that stretch because we're going to do some sitting roll backs with your bow and arrow arms. So get yourself on the floor in sitting. Make sure you've got your equipment near. You'll need bands, cushion or 2 cushions, hoop if you've got one. Okay, see you there. So we sit with your crown directly above your coccyx. Your knees and hips are lined up with your feet as well. Okay, lifting that pelvic floor. Breathe and be tall. Okay, this is your eye position. And then to start, look, I've said you have your equipment and mine's over here. Okay. So we'll start off with bow and arrow arms in this sitting position here. Can I just say, if you need a release in your pelvis or your hip flexors at any time, then you can do pelvic tilts really nicely. Just scooping the coccyx under so you're in that C curve in your spine. And then you can get extension in your spine by lifting your rib cage away from your hip. So you can go into a pelvic tilt at any time. You're going to need your C curve anyway in a minute because we are just going a bit of a diagonal there. So we come into bow and arrow arms, really steady hands so we're not going to twist our spine or muscles. And you can stay upright in your eye position. Just take a breath for each pull. Keep your knees steady so they don't roll in. This should be an inhale as you draw back and exhale, breathe in here, exhale here. But if it's the odd way around for you, please don't worry, just breathe. Okay, so that's your first option. You don't have to have the band if you don't want either. but obviously it's great for your arms if you do. So the second option is to engage your abdominals. You scoop your coccyx under here, so you go into that C curve and you come into engagement in your front lower abdominals and your upper ones. Brilliant. Oh, it's long enough. And then we can do this. Now, this is harder if you stay down, but you can come up each time if you need to. Okay? So as your arms come together, you come up. Keep your hips forwards as you come down, and you just twist the upper part of your back. So even if you're staying up, your hips are forwards, you're still twisting the upper part of your back. If you're coming into engagement with your abdomen, you tuck your coccyx under as you roll back, so you don't lose your form, and keep your ribs straight. So I'll just do 5 coming up, but if you want to stay in your roll down, that's fine. Oh yeah, so if you start to feel really tight on your hip flexors, then you can roll your mat up, or you can sit on a yoga block or a cushion. You know, if you get tight there, but you might be okay, just to carry on. Okay. Really use the power in your arms to get that band back. Now I'm going to stay down for another 10. Lift your pelvic floor, really get that C curve in your spine, and keep your elbows into your waist as they glide past. Hips are forwards, rotate the upper part of your back. Lift, lift, lift that pelvic floor. Looking good. Good. Choose your options. They're all hard. They're all intermediate ones. Okay, I'm going to do 5 on each side. I can't count. 2. Notice the hips stay forwards. Draw it behind in the back. Lift that pelvic floor. Okay, come up. Now, if you want a nice stretch, cross your legs and just take your hands behind and roll your knees towards the floor. So you get a really lovely lengthening here. Again, it's another quad stretch, but you're also getting a bit of movement in your pelvis as well. You can take your chin up. If you like, try not to collapse into your arms. Nice and strong in your chest. And then roll yourself back in. So on a similar vein, we're going into that I position and we're going to use the golden box. So without letting your knees move, without moving your hips, just move your shoulders to one side and you pick up a box. And I like to imagine liquid gold, so you don't move it, helps you keep your core steady. And then as you twist round, that'll be your exhale. I mean, you can actually use it like you can use this cushion. Helps you keep a little bit of form there. That's it, yeah. Now, at the moment, we're in the I position, but you know what you can do. Take a breath, bring your pubic bone towards your nose to get your C curve, you're rolling your coccyx under. Try and will these hip flexors to be nice and soft as we carry on. with the twist. Don't let your knees move. Keep everything absolutely static in those knees. Just keep your breath coming in. It's easier and your body will move with the flow of your breath if you inhale when you're at the front and then exhale to turn it round. Breathing in, watch those knees. That's it, lovely. It's hard work. Okay, even though you're in C curve, I want you to feel a lengthening, like someone's pegging your shoulders up. So you're not hunched over. Okay, you've got that C curve in your lower back, all the way up your spine really, but just not in your shoulders. Your shoulders are open, your chest is open, like someone's lifting you on the washing line in a breeze. Okay, how are we doing? That's it. Okay, I'm going to do 5 on each side. Lift that pelvic floor. You need to come up, that's fine. Oh, you might feel this in your abs tomorrow, I think. Well, I just ache all the time. I never know what it's from. But this is your abdominal for today. Two more. Have we done? Laura's a good counter. Okay. Oh, I've got to stretch those out. Right, we're going to go into the cobra before we do anything else, but we will come back into this. So just get yourself prone. So with your hands either side of your ears, just get your pubic bone into the floor. Nice soft glutes. Your feet are, your soles of your feet are facing the ceiling, and we breathe in to come up there. Breathing in. So this stretches those abs. They've done all that lovely work. You're getting some movement in your spine. You breathe in to come up, soft bottom. Exhale to come down. Breathing in. Exhale. And then when you're ready, when you feel like you've had a lovely stretch, bend your knees as your arms are extended. Come into on all fours. We'll just pelvic tilt here. Just check your form, check your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Scoop that coccyx under. You can go all the way up your spine into the cat and then tail up into that cow. Okay, so we're ready for these other ones. We haven't done these for ages, but they're great. Coming back into the same position that we were in, sitting. And we're going to go, so it's kind of abs, but you're also mobilizing your hips and using your legs as well. So we're going to start off just leaning into your hands that are just placed behind you there. Lift your pelvic floor, breathe in, and then bring yourself into this tabletop. So you're kind of on your sitting bones there, and then we lengthen the legs, and you can lean back into the hands there. That's it. So I want you to think about your hips, and as you extend the leg, it comes down a little bit. So your ball and socket joint in your hips are getting a little bit of work there. Okay, we'll change it slightly by just flexing the feet, just taking a breath in and out on each move. How's your pelvic floor? Is it super engaged? Internal kisses. That's it, brilliant, good. Soft in your shoulders and strong in your chest. Don't be hanging off, keep everything super strong. Okay, we'll have a rest in a sec, because you know it's going to get a bit harder. Cross your legs. Okay, just cross your legs, fold your arms, and lift your arms up like this. That's it. So you get a nice stretch in your arms. Breathe. Come down. And then just fold your arms the other way and lift up again. Okay. And release. Come down. So similar position. Arms are back here. You want that little C curve, your coccyx tucked under as you bring one leg up at a time into your tabletop. And then we're going to push both legs out. Let's do 5 pointed toes. And then we do 5 flexed. Lift that pelvic floor. Okay, you're ready to push out. For 3, 2, lift that pelvic floor, and 1. Okay, the next one, we're going to have a go without the arms. So we'll try and fit in some breaks. Let's just try one leg up and one leg on the floor. But I don't want loads of weight through this. I want it in your C curve and in your abdomen here. So we're just going to point the toe, same leg, for 3, and then flex the toe for 3. Last one, swap over. Just a bit different without the hands at the back. So point the toe for 3. So don't push out through your lower abdomen, lift it up. Okay, flex the foot for 3, soften this supporting foot. Last one. Okay, have a breath. You can do this if you like, just raise your chest and just get some length into those abdominals there. Ready for your last and your harder option, because we're going to bring your feet one at a time off the mat into tabletop, and then both arms here. So you've got your options. If you need to put your hands down, or if you want to have one leg down, that's fine. So we'll just extend the right leg, keep on the right leg, just in case you want your left foot on the floor. So balance yourself, lift your pelvic floor. I want your ribs close to your hips. I do not want this to happen. Okay, I want ribs to hips. If you need to come down, just roll forwards rather than back. I just want you to look after your back. Okay, so if you need to collapse in, come forwards. Okay, so we're just extending the right leg. See what I mean? Lean into your C curve rather than lifting your ribs. 4, 3, same leg, 2, and 1. Let's do the same on the other side. We'll just do 5. Breathe, extend, and come back up. Keep your ribs close to your hips. 3, 2, and 1. Cross your legs. Have a little stretch. You need to stretch these out. So if you feel like you need to do that, bring your knees to the floor and just lift up your hips. So they go upwards there. Get that air in. Bring it down. So you can do that at any time for a rest. If you feel like you need to stretch your lower back, then we can reach forward at any time as well. That's it. I'm a great believer in contracting and then stretching. Walk yourself around. Try and keep your hips forward or away from your hands. So my hands are at the right, so I'm pushing my left hip in the opposite direction. Bring it to the front. Try and breathe. Exhale to the other way. Okay. So we've come back here. Have your hands there to get yourself into tabletop before you lose your hands. Okay, so we're going to try and do both legs. Okay, so have a breath. Please remember, ribs stay close to hips. So even though you extend your legs, I don't want you to extend your chest. Okay, roll into your C curve. Okay, let's do 5. Just keep breathing. Breathe in here, exhale here. 3, lift that pelvic floor. 2, well done. Last one, okay? And then we're going to see if we can just rest, stretch, whatever you like. We're going to see if we can introduce the arms. So just opening the arms and coming back up in your closure of your knees. Breathing in, exhale. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, keep your ribs low. Let's try 5, 4, 3. I told you you'd like it. 2. You look fabulous. Good. Whoa. Okay. Stretch out your hips if you need to. I know it gets hard. But with these harder options, you still need to have a quick stretch before you get back to it. And then come down. So we're going to do another 5. Choose your option. Now, it's actually, you can do, well, we'll do 6. So you have the option to do 3 on one leg, 3 on the other, which I think is harder because you've got to track your balance. Okay, so 6 double legs or 3 on one leg and 3 on the other. Halfway there, lift that pelvic floor. I think we're done. Well done. We're going to go straight into the saw, which is like this, with your legs separated, and then your arms come up, keeping the distance, maintaining the distance between your fingertips. You just twist yourself around. I say just because I find this really tough. So it's not just at all. Oops, no matches. Again, you'll exhale on your twist. Breathe in to come to the front. Okay, you can stay in that vein. If your back's strong and safe, then you can have a go at this. This is nice. Trying to keep your legs nice and straight, so that gap underneath your knee needs to be towards the floor. Just going to take my left elbow into that left knee, drop the hand. This hip comes towards the ceiling, so left hand there, right hip up, and try and get your other hand to meet it here. And then the closer you get to your foot with that hand, the better. That's it. And these are just practice. Honestly, so notice. If I've not been practicing stretches, they'd go away. I'm a lot less stretchy. Okay, and then same on the right elbow, wedged in that right knee. Hand comes down, this left hip turns up as your arm comes up and over. There. Breathe. Really practice thoracic breathing. So pinning your belly button in towards your spine and breathing into the side of your rib cage. Keep that knee on the floor. Try not to have a gap there. And then when you're ready, unfold yourself Okay, we've got the beautiful bridge. Oh no, actually before that, we need to do these hamstring stretch, and this is called the tree. So if you did you don't need that, you can actually do it with your band. You just pop the band here, but you remain in sitting, and you remain in a sitting shape as you keep rigid in this position, in this right angle between your back and your legs. As you lean back, your leg comes up, and you just don't forget to turn your pubic bone towards your nose to get your back safely into the mat, and then you squeeze the band towards you. Have a breath, and then as you exhale, try and have this knee straight as you pull the band but push through your foot, and it just brings you back up like magic. So keep the same foot. We'll do about 5 on each side, squeezing the band towards you as you go down and pushing with your foot as you come back up. Try and keep your elbows into your waist so that you've got that, so that you're not all, elbows into your waist just keeps you strong, and it helps you keep your spine in that gentle C curve. So C curve is just when you've got your coccyx tucked under a little bit, belly button in, lift that pelvic floor, ribs close to hips to get down. I love it, such fun. Just 2 more. Oh, so stay down for this one, and then with your band really close to you, your elbows tucked into your waist, you're going to just let the foot go to the side, so you get a lovely stretch in your inner thigh. That's it, yeah. Bringing it back up, just check that you're exhaling, you're engaging your pelvic floor. Have a breath at the top. Ready to secure the core, taking the leg to the side. You should be able to, well, just get your leg as close to the floor as you can. Think about the other muscles that are just completely banging into the radiator. So just think about the different muscles that are stretching as your legs on one side as opposed to the other. It's just getting completely different stretch in your pelvis here, in the back of your leg, and then make sure you're securing your core to bring that leg back up. And I'm going to push through that foot, bring the elbows in so that the band can pull me back up, so I don't have to use my tummy muscles. Are you ready for the other leg? So we're going to do 5. It's called the tree, this. So roll it back. That's it. Push through to come back up. And bring it down. Think about what's stretching, what's engaging to get you up and down. 2 more. Feel that lovely connection with your spine as you roll down. We're going to stay down and then take the leg, keeping your grip of the band, elbows tucked in, get the leg across that midline. And aim to get the foot on the floor. You're like in a right angle leg to body. Breathe, secure that core to come back up. And take the leg to the other side. Just have to bunch up. There we go. Breathe as that leg and the weight of the leg stretches your inner thigh. Breathe, secure the core. On your exhale, bring that leg back up, push through the foot and come back up into sitting. We're going to do a roll down. Just make sure you've got cushions or your hoop near you. Right, so for your roll down, just come down onto my mat. You can have your knees bent. You can hold your legs with either straight option or bent leg option. We're just rolling down. I think we'll do a couple of roll up and down. So bring your coccyx under, secure that core. Can you see the lovely bow in the back to catch your body onto the mat there? Reach your arms up. Keep your ribs close to your hips. Try not to get too much movement in your spine. Breathe in here. Exhale, bring your arms over, chin to chest. Remember, you can have bent legs if you like. Bring that pubic bone towards your nose so that your back catches the floor. Reaching up, exhale. So this is where I don't want your knees to roll out or your feet. Keep everything sharply facing up to the ceiling. Breathe in, sink down into your C curve, all the way down. So as if you've got a thread attached to your heels and your belly button, draw each leg up into your bridge position. You won't need a cushion underneath your head because we're coming straight up into the bridge. So from your neutral pelvis, let's roll the coccyx right under so your lower back's into the mat. Going to start to engage your glutes to bring your hips sharply up. Engage these. Now, we may have done this before. We're going to come down a little bit fancy, but stay up for now. I just want your arms to come over. Okay, keep your rib cage soft and low towards your hips. Breathe into your rib cage here and then bring your arms back down. Keep your pelvis up, your hips up, palms to the floor, keeping your hips still level. Like a skateboard, your right hip goes towards your right knee. So your hips now are level but on a skewed. And then you take your top vertebrae down and then you swap the slope. Left hip goes towards your left knee. So you're like this, you're still level but on a skew with your hips. Then bring a vertebrae down. Slowly slide your right hip towards your right knee, bring your spine down. Slide it to the left, bring a vertebrae down. Slide it to the right, drop a vertebrae, slide to the left, down, all the way down. Okay, get yourself neutral. So that means you've now lost the contact between the lower lumbar part of your back and the mat. And then, are you ready? We're going to hip thrust up. So keeping your hips level and steady, engage your glutes and bring your hips up. I need you to check your knees are directly above your heels. Okay, you're going to need this or a cushion. These are brilliant anyway. So your hips are up and we're going to just adjust your feet so you've got a little bit of tension on those, on the cushion. I'm going to use this just in case. It's exactly the same principle, but this one just gives you a little bit more tension. You're going to squeeze both knees together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep your hips high, 4. If you need to, drop your bottom down. But the idea is we're high and engaged. Last 2. Okay, touch down if you need, or carry on. You can have a cushion underneath your head now if you like. But it's got to be comfortable. Don't have any discomfort in your neck. We're taking the right knee towards the left for 10. So left knee stays static as your right knee comes in and out. You've got a gentle engagement of that pelvic floor. 5 more. Keep breathing, keep your hips level. Okay, bring your left knee towards your right. Okay, I know this is really effective if you've got cushions, so don't worry if you've not got this. It just kind of concentrates it a little bit more. 5, 4, 3. It's called a Pilates hoop, Ring of Fire it's called. Last 2 if you want to get one for lockdown. Right, segmentally get your from the top of your spine to your tailbone on the floor. We're going to repeat that, but we'll have a little tiny stretch before we do. So this is your stretch. You imprint your spine, so pubic bone towards your nose, and then bring your knee to your chest and the other side, and you hold your feet. If this is too much, great for your back if you have back issues, this, by the way, but if it's too much, then you can just have your feet together, knees apart, and you just have the weight of your hands on your shins, whatever they're called. Is that your shin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is great if you can manage this. Just have a few breaths here. Think about stretching your inner thighs, opening your pelvis, and breathe. Two breaths of your own. So your knees can be quite far apart for this, as much as you can bear. Okay, bring it back down. And then, now, we're going to repeat that. If it's too much, having your bottom in the air, have your bottom on the floor. We're going to do 10 together and 10 apart. Get yourself into the bridge if you like. Check your heels are underneath your knees and squeeze and squeeze. Nice and controlled. 4, 3, 2, good, 1. And then you're going to take right knee to the left for 10. Keep your hips level and high. Last 5, 4, 3, slipping off this, 2, and 1, and then left to right for 10. Okay, if it's too much having your bottom in the air, maybe do 5 up and the last 5 down. Okay, neutral pelvis, neutral spine, bring yourself sequentially down, and we're going to do a lovely piriformis stretch. So I'll just go on a bit of an angle, taking your right, let's chop my head off, right heel onto your left knee, and then you lift up your legs. Okay, now you're going to take your right hand through that triangle. You can either wrap your hands behind that thigh. For a deeper stretch, you can do 2 things. You can bring that heel down. This isn't recommended for hip replacements, I have to say. So just do this if you do. That's enough. Okay, for a deeper stretch, you can either bring this down. You can even bring your other leg and wrap your hands around that shin. Have a couple of breaths right there. And we're finishing today with rolling like a ball. Woohoo. Enjoy that stretch. Bet you deserve it. Okay, release. Swap over, so left foot on your right knee. Just make sure your coccyx is underneath your body as you lift both legs up. Left hand through, you can have your foot lower towards your tummy. You can have your hands wrapped around your thigh. Deeper stretch if they're round the front of that shin. A couple of breaths. And just unfold yourself. Roll onto the side and just draw yourself up. So if you've never done rolling like a ball, you've never lived. So it's just a lovely stretch in your spine, abdominal control. So we go onto your sitting bones with your hands just at the back initially. Go on your tippy toes, secure your core to just get your balance as you bring your hands around your shins, your ankles. Now, you can actually do this. This is called the seal, where your pelvis is just a little bit more open with your knees there. But I prefer this, it just helps me feel a bit safe. And then engaging your abdomen, securing your core. Make sure you're in C curve, so that coccyx under, you just roll back like that. Oh, and then come back up. Just let momentum take the flow. Breathe, exhale. Let you know, you can have a bit of a kick back from with your toes. Try not to break your neck. That's it. Just feel the lovely pressure of the contact of the mat on your back. Just try not to do a complete backward somersault. Oh, it's great, isn't it? That's it. Let that tension go from each vertebrae. And then when you've had enough fun, you can say goodbye. Namaste. Where did that hour go? Woo!